BFM, and today we'll be covering module C and D, objective questions, treasury, very important one. See here, up till now we have covered module A, module B. Now we are covering module C. Okay, so we'll be covering it regularly. I generally we change it regularly so that the entire portion is covered. So that's why watch it at the same time on the same channel every day. Okay, so let's start without wasting the time. Very difficult ones. Questions are difficult ones. Yesterday I had given you an homework. Okay, how many of you have solved this? This I had given you as a homework. Which of the following? This was yesterday's homework. Yesterday's, I'll write it over here. Yesterday's. Okay, this was yesterday's homework. So what was it? Which of the following statements is correct regarding the yield curve risk? Yield curve. Okay. A bank needs to evaluate the movement in yield curves and impact on the curve on the portfolio value and the income. So bank needs to evaluate the movement in the yield curves. What do you mean by yield curve first? Yield curve means what is the yield I am getting? What do you mean by yield I am getting? What is meant by yield? Yield means returns versus my investment. Keep it very simple. Returns versus my investment. So when I plot this various yields for various maturities, these are time, this is time. For various maturities, when I plot, I get this curve, and this curve is known as yield curve. Okay. So let's say for a bond, okay, bond of let's say AAA rating of various maturities, 3 months to 10 years. Suppose if I plot these bonds and the yield of these bonds, okay. So this will give me this is yield over here, yield. This on y-axis it is yield, and on x-axis it is time. So if I go on plotting the yields of various bonds from 3 months to 10 years of the same rating, this is very important. Then the curve which I get is known as the yield curve. So what is this yield curve risk? If it goes down, then what? If it goes up, then what? If it goes curved, then what? So a bank needs to evaluate the movement in the yield curves and impact on the curve of the curve on the portfolio and the income. So obviously bank needs to check this, okay, because as the yield curve changes, so the bank's income and earning also changes, profit and loss also changes. If the liability is raised through 364-day T-bill and is used to fund an asset of 91-day T-bills, it will lead to yield curve risk. So liability is raised. Liability means I am raising a liability means what? Basically, and used to fund an asset means I am funding an asset. If I take a deposit of let's say 364 days and give a loan of 91 days, then will I be facing a yield curve risk? I may be, because once this 91 days loans matures, again I need to refresh this loan. Again I need to give it to someone else. So will I be able to give it at the same rate? Because this liability is fixed at 364 days, because the rate of interest is fixed for the liability, but this is changing. So I'll be definitely faced with the yield curve risk. So answer is C, both A and B. This was yesterday's homework. Let's start with today's part. The features of net interest position of the risk curve. Net interest position. What are the features of this? When there are more earning assets than paying liabilities, the interest rate may arise. Interest rate may arise if the market interest rate adjusts downwards. Again, means interest rate risk, I feel, yeah. Risk, interest rate risk may arise if the market interest rate moves downwards. Now, what is this? When there are more earnings than this, so assets are more than liabilities, okay? Then what happens if the interest rate risk may arise if the market interest rate goes down, moves down. So if there are more assets than liabilities, what does it mean? I'm having more earning, right? My income is more because assets are more. So in that case, if the interest rate goes down, what happens? My earning will reduce. My surplus earning will reduce. So that's why I may be faced with the interest rate risk. So answer is A, correct. What about B? It may result in reduction of net interest income. So that is also true. It may result in reduction of NII. Right? What is the difference between NII and NIM? NII means what? Net interest income. Okay, and NIM. What is the difference between these two? NIM equals to NII upon earning assets, you call it. Actually, you can write it assets also, but it's actually earning assets, not NPA ones. Okay. So this is NIM, and NII means net interest income, difference between your liabilities and asset products. Okay. That interest earning. It will have impact on the economic value of the bank's assets, right? So that is also true. So C is also true. So the answer is D, all of them, isn't it? How many of you got this correct? Type in the comment section if you got this here. Be true to yourself, because in exam I won't be there. It's you who will be answering it. So be true to yourself. How many of you got this correct? D1. Type yes. Correct. Got it? So D. Which of the following are not the features of the price risk? Not the features. And price risk. Price means what? Price of the bond goes up or down. That is basically the meaning. See, always remember one thing. Interest rate, I'll call it rate. Okay. Interest rate risk is always related to price risk. Both of them go hand in hand. Price risk. Okay. Because the logic over here is, if the interest rate goes up, repo rate, let's say, if the repo rate goes up, the price of the bond will go down. Price of the bond, okay, it always goes down. So it will go down. So that's why they go hand in hand. Interest up, price down. Interest down, price up. So which of the following is not the feature of the price risk? When the assets are sold after their maturity, it may result in price risk. So assets are sold after their maturities, after, okay. So it may result in price risk. Is it so? When assets are being sold after their maturities, okay, I'm holding those maturities with me. So it may result in price, means the price may go up or down. Is it so? It will never, because after the maturity means what? Whatever is the final amount, I've got it over there. Now, when do I take it? That's a separate aspect altogether. Up to the maturity, only the price risk is there. This is known as operations risk. This is the part of operations risk. If you hold the bonds after the maturity also, means your operation team is not working properly. So this is when the assets are sold after the maturity, it may result in price risk. So not a feature. So this is, we want false one, and this is false one. Okay, so this is true. What about the second one? The price risk is closely associated with banks' trading volume. Price risk is associated with banks' trading volume. That is true, but okay, because the more the trading volume, more will I have the price risk. Banks may create such trading investments out of short-term movements in the interest rates. So that is also true. I can create investments by the short-term movement. So this is true, but I want what? False. So only A is the answer. When assets are sold after the maturity, it may result in the price risk. Okay, I'll clear this board over here. Okay, so that you can watch it freely. So this answer is A over here. Okay. Everyone download Adda 24/7 app on your mobile. In this app, you will be getting the premium study material plus live classes, ebooks, tests. Whatever we require for clearing JIB and CIB, we get it over here. What do you require for JIB and CIB clearing? 3 things only. Only 3 things. One is ebooks, means books basically. Second is test to check your knowledge. And third is classes. So all of them are over here. Okay, download it right now. Which of the following statements are not correct? Here, always focus on the question. Do they want correct or not correct, true or false, whatever. Okay. So this is, they want false. Okay. Now focus on false. The bond prices and the yields are directly related. Directly. I just now told you in that second question only, right? That bond prices and yields are inversely related. Okay, so this is false. So you have got the answer. Is there any answer? All of the above over here? No. So others are not true at all. Move this, take this and move on. But let's see the other one, because now we are in the study session. In the exam, don't waste your time. Immediately move on. Okay. Market risk may apply for pricing risk for the assets held in the trading book. So market risk may apply for pricing risk for the assets held in the trading book. So that is true. There are two books in the banking. Always remember, trading, and second book is what? Banking book. Here the assets or the bonds are held over here for up to the maturity. This is for statutory purposes, CRR, SLR, and this is for proprietary, means buying and selling, earning profit. So that is true. So that's why this is not the answer. We want a false one. The market risk may also apply in foreign currency risk. So obviously, market risk means what? Which is not in your hands. What is the meaning of market risk? That risk which is not in your hands, right? Like Russia-Ukraine war, COVID, is it in your hands? Nothing. RBI changing the repo rates, it's not in your hands. So that's why market risk may also apply to foreign currency risk. So that is also true. So the answer is only A. Okay, clear, everyone? Everyone type yes in the comment section if you have understood up till now. Type yes in the comment section if you have understood up till now. Type yes, everyone. Let me see the comments. Yeah. Fast. Got it? Clear? Concepts are clear? Move on. Will you be able to answer in the exam? If it is asked, will you be able to answer it in the exam? Without remembering. So don't mug up. You need to understand this. Because mugging up is not possible in BFM at all. Not at all possible. Because the subject is so huge. And there are so many possibilities, so many numericals, so many case studies over here. Variety of questions are there. That's why I would suggest join this Sankalpa batch. Okay, I'll come to this later. I'll show you how to join it. We are covering all the numericals, objective questions, case studies, everything is covered. Okay. What is not a forex risk here? That's why they ask you these negative questions. Not. So we want not. False again. False. A risk may arise due to favorable exchange rate movements in the forex. It's called as forex risk. Favorable means I buy dollar for, let's say, 75 rupees. Okay. And now the dollar rate is 85 rupees. So is this a risk to me? I have brought it. See, I have purchased it. I have bought it at this rate. And now the rate is 85. Is it good for me? It is good for me, isn't it? So this is not a risk. This is false. And this is what I want. See, first only you got this answer A. But what about this? Now there is the option of all of these also. So these and these can also be false. This forex risk occurs on account of open position in spot or forward contracts. So this forex risk arises because of open position in the spot. Open position means what? Day end position, right? Open cash or day end cash, volt cash, what we say. In our bank we have volt cash. Same logic, volt position, day end position. So this will definitely arise because of this. So this is true. So obviously now don't even check this third answer, right? In exam don't check it because you know this is true. So all of them can't be the answer. So A is the answer. Now for just checking this, as we are in the study mode, that's why it is applicable to individual foreign currency. That is also true. Individual foreign currency means same logic. I brought dollar at 75 rupees and now it is 70. Then it is applicable, right? So this is true, right? Everyone subscribe to Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. See here, in this channel you will be getting the free YouTube series. Okay. Plus we are having Instagram channels. It's a few free YouTube series on all the subjects. We are having Instagram channels, LinkedIn channels. Join them ASAP. Okay, I'll show you how to join them. These features of the these are the features of the basis risk. Basis risk means what? What is meant by basis risk? The rate of interest of interest of liabilities and assets, means deposits and this loans, changes differently in different magnitudes. ROI changes differently, means the rate of interest of deposit changes by 2% and rate of interest of this loan changes by only 1%. So that is known as the basis risk. When the interest rates of different assets, liabilities and off balance sheet items change in different magnitudes, it is called as basis risk. What is it? Now you tell me. Is A true? A correct answer? Yes? Type yes if you feel A is the correct answer. Interest rates of different assets, liabilities and all these. Okay. So A is correct. Okay. But there is the option called as all of these. So that we'll have to check now. All of these means I'll have to check B and C also. When the interest rate of assets rises in different magnitudes as compared to the interest rate in the corresponding liability, which may result in variation in net interest income, it would be known as basis risk. So again the same, wording is different only, logic is same. Assets interest rate rises with in different magnitude than that of the liability. That's it. So B is also true. So once you get A and B true, immediately you jump to D. Okay, because obviously C will be true, isn't it? So the basis risk is quite visible in volatile interest rate scenario. Obviously, volatile means high changing interest rates, very high changing. Okay. Right now in US, the same thing is happening. If you check USA, they are facing the same crisis now, volatile interest rates. Okay. Which of the following is not correct regarding the basis risk? Not. So again, we want what? False. Always immediately mark this. You want false answer. When the variation in the market interest rate affects net interest income, income to expand it, it will be unfavorable basis shift. So variation in the interest rate affects the net interest income to expand it. It will have unfavorable. So net interest income is expanded. So it will have unfavorable. Expanded means what? My net interest income is increased. So if it is increased, then is it unfavorable for me? So that is false, obviously, isn't it? So this is gone. So A is the only answer. Don't even look at B and C because all of these is not the option. So A is the only answer. But then also, today we'll do it. In exam, don't do it. Exam, just move on. Okay. When the interest rate movement causes net interest income to contract, the basis would be moved against the bank. So obviously, net interest income to contract. Contract means it is against me, in unfavorable to me, isn't it? So that's why B is true. So this is not the answer. We want false. This is true. Okay? True. The loan portfolio is funded out of a composite liability portfolio. This causes higher degree of basis risk. See here, composite liability. Composite means various liabilities. Liabilities can be saving, can be current, can be FD. So if I am having the composite liabilities, this will cause a higher degree of risk to me. Obviously, because all will change in different magnitudes. So that is true. We want a false one. Okay. Now I told you how to join this Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. See here. On LinkedIn, this is for LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn. No, sorry, not LinkedIn. That's this Telegram channel. LinkedIn I generally use. Okay, Telegram channel. So this blue one is for Telegram channel. This black one is for your YouTube YT. Okay, and this next one is for Instagram. So join all of these. Insta. Okay, join all of these. Scan this. Just scan this and you'll get it. Okay. Because as I told you, we cover all the important YT series, all the important questions, important tests on these channels. Immediately join it. Okay. The features of embedded option risk are, embedded option means what? What is embedded option risk? It means anyone can repay my loan. Suppose if I have given a loan to somebody, term loan or CC. Customer comes tomorrow with all the money and says, okay, tata, bye bye, take your loan back. Deposit. Customer comes tomorrow with the slip, the deposit slip or that deposit receipt and tells me, tata, bye bye, take this receipt, give me my money. So this is embedded option risk, where the customer can withdraw their deposit funds anytime or repay their loans anytime. So which are the features of embedded option risk? When the bank is exposed to the risk due to prepayment, see here, prepayment of loan or premature withdrawal of term deposit, it is called as embedded option risk. Just now I told you, same, right? So A is the answer, but there is an option of all of these also. Check this now. This can be experienced in volatile situations. Volatile means too much changing rate of interest. This generally happens in volatile. Okay, so B is also the answer. So obviously now D will be the answer. C is true. The greater the magnitude of the changes in the interest rate, the higher will be the embedded option risk. So more the changes in the interest rates, more will be the embedded option risk. So that is correct. Okay. These things do happen in volatile situations, because what happens if the customer is having a loan with you Okay. And now due to volatility, the rate of interest of the loan changes drastically. Right now you are giving the loan at, let's say, 8% to this customer. Okay. And due to the volatile situation, your bank increases the rate to 10%. So good customers will run away from you. Run away. They won't stay with you. Okay. Why? Because 8 to 10, whose 2% extra is a huge amount for larger loans. Okay. So this is embedded option. Which of the following is not correct regarding the embedded option? We want a false one now. Okay. This results in reduction of the projected cash flow. So not correct. Embedded option, reduction in the projected cash flow. Yeah, that is true. Okay. So we want a false one. Huh? It does not affect the bank's income. What is this? Does not affect. It is false. It does affect. So B is false. B is the right answer. Don't even look at C and D now because there is no option of all of these. If you want, I'll just go through it. See here. The risk may arise due to premature exercise of call put option. So that is true. What is call put option? Call put means the customer has a right to repay the loan or withdraw the cash. Okay. That is call put option. And D1, the withdrawal of deposit before maturity date would also cause embedded option risk. Before maturity, isn't it? Just now we saw that. So that is also true. So that's why I said in exam, don't even look at C and D. Immediately move on. Okay. Now one for your homework. A counterparty risk is what? What is a counterparty risk? Study that. I have taken this earlier, but then also study it again. It arises due to non-performance of the trading partners where the counterparty may refuse to perform. It is treated as a transient financial risk. It is more associated with trading and all of these. It's your call now. You have to give me the answer. So what is the schedule? Look at this schedule. One is we'll be studying firstly Incoterms. What are the various Incoterms? And second, we will be having the objective questions on the Incoterms. Okay. So firstly, let me discuss this. Now, many of you might be actually knowing the Incoterms, what the meaning of Incoterms. But then also I'll give you. Incoterms means it's a responsibility. Responsibility. Okay. A responsibility between whom? Here, whenever I do any export from here, so in that case, where will the seller give the goods and where will the buyer take the control of those goods? Where will the seller leave the control of the goods and where will the buyer take the control of the goods? This term is known as Incoterms. Means where, suppose, let's say, I'll tell you regarding this Incoterms. Whenever we go to them, you'll understand it better. Suppose, let's say, let's take the first Incoterm, X works. Okay, what is X works? X works means what? If this is my factory, okay, let me expand this. Okay, so it becomes easier for you to understand. Let me expand this. So, this X works. Suppose if seller says, I will put the goods, manufacture these goods and put it in front of my factory. I won't give you anywhere else. Just in front of my factory, I'll place them. You pay me and take these goods from here. How do you take it? What do you do? That's not my concern. So this is known as X works. This is the best Incoterm for any seller. Always. Why? Because here the responsibility of the seller is up to what? Up to the gate of his factory. That's it. From here, everything is on the buyer. Tomorrow, if while taking the goods, there is an accident or if there is some robbery, then seller is not responsible. Seller says, okay, I have given the goods as per my terms and conditions. Now it's your responsibility. So this is known as X works, the best Incoterm for the seller. Then comes a bit higher. Now the buyer is in, let's say, USA. Seller is in, let's say, India. Okay. In that case, what will the buyer do? What will the buyer do over here? Now, if you look at it, the buyer over here, see this, I'll take this over here, or shall I make it smaller so that you understand? Yeah, now it's easy, simple to understand. Okay. Now let's say the buyer is in USA. Then what will the buyer say? Sir, see, coming to a factory and taking it is the difficult part. What I'll do is, you do one thing. You put these goods on the ship. Load these goods on the ship. And from here, my responsibility will start. So the seller will say, okay. In that case, what will happen? Seller will manufacture these goods, take these goods in the truck from his place or her place, not only his or her place, okay, up to the port, okay. And here the seller will take them up to the port and load these goods into the ship. This is called as loading on on board. This is known as board, okay. So the goods will be loaded on the board. Here, the responsibility of the seller ends. Once the goods are loaded on the board over here, say this, once they are loaded over here on the ship, then the responsibility of the seller ends. Okay. Then what happens? If tomorrow something happens to the ship, so this ship gets sunk over here, or there is a robbery, there is some storm, and the ship gets material gets distorted. In that case, the seller is not responsible. Seller's responsibility was only loading on the board of the ship. Now, what is on the board? Again, remember, this word you will find it many times. On board, on board, on board. What do you mean by on board? What is the word on board over here? Here. Now, this is a bit, we are going into the ship, right? It's not needed, but then also let me explain you. This top part of the ship is known as deck, D-E-C-K. You saw that Titanic movie? Everyone has seen that Titanic movie? That she is standing here and then that song, right? All that. This is known as deck, this top part. And board means this, lower part, board. Always material or goods are always loaded in the ship below. Goods are always loaded on the board. They are never loaded on the deck. Okay, they are never loaded on the deck. So this is on board means the goods are loaded on this below part. Okay, otherwise what will happen? If they are loaded above and people are below, what will happen? They fall down on the people. Logic, isn't it? So that's why they are always loaded on the board below. Okay, so now what happens? Suppose if tomorrow this buyer says that this FOB you have understood? See here, on board. So this is known as FOB, free on board. So the responsibility of the seller is to load it on the board. Now there is one more incoterm attached to this. Means if the seller says, no, I won't load it on the ship. I will load it, I'll just put it besides the ship. Means wherever you have that place of keeping the goods on that port, there you will see, there I'll put it in, there I'll put these goods. So that is known as FAS. Now what do you mean by this besides the ship? All of you have seen the old Hindi movies. Always in last, there is always a fight between the hero and the villain. Now 1980s, 90s, those movies, up to 2000 also. Nowadays everything is gone. Nowadays nobody has that last fight in the movie. There was a concept of last fight in the movie. Everyone remembers? Type yes in the comment section. Have you seen that old Amitabh or anyone's movies? Last fight. That last fight was mainly, many a times, it was on that deck only, on that ship only, port. All those containers, hero jumps. Now also you see it in the South Indian movies, right? Many of the South movies. You'll see the same. The hero jumping from that container, all that containers, that is basically FAS. So next time whenever you see this, you just call it FAS, okay? Free alongside ship. This is known as free alongside ship, okay? So this is FAS, free alongside ship, got it? Now this is incoterm FOB, this is FAS. Now next one is CFR and CIF. Look at this, CFR and CIF. CFR means what? Cost and freight. What does it mean? Here it means that the seller will put the goods on the ship, number one, means on the board. Then he'll buy the logistic cost of this ship. Logistic cost means the ticket, you can call it in simple language. The ticket of that ship. That will be borne by the seller. So this is known as CFR. Now when this guy buys the ticket, then what happens? See here, his or her responsibility is only up to buying the ticket. If tomorrow something happens to the ship, again seller says I am not responsible. My responsibility was putting the goods on the board and buying that ticket. Okay, so that is called as CFR. Transport paid. Transport. Okay. The next one after that comes CIF. Cost, insurance and transport. So what does it mean? Here the seller will buy the ticket also, and also the next thing which he will buy, he or she will buy is insurance. If tomorrow this ship gets sunk, then the insurance company needs to pay. So who will pay the premium of this? So the premium is paid by the seller over here. So in CIF, the premium and the transport cost is borne by the seller. Important, remember. Okay. Why am I focusing more on this FOB, CFR, CIF, FS? Because 95% of the trade in this world, okay, big trade and not smaller trades, oil or all rice exports, anything, 95% of that is done by a ship. It is not done by any truck. It is not done by any aeroplane. Nothing. That's why we must always focus on ship. Okay. Now, important part over here, FOB. This FOB is important because your pre-shipment finance is always given on FOB in India. Pre-shipment finance means packing credit. That is always given on FOB. That's why this FOB is so much important. Okay. Now suppose if I ask you to, suppose if I am having CIF Incoterm. Now answer me, everyone answer me. Suppose if I am having a CIF Incoterm and I have to come to this FOB Incoterm. From CIF I have to come to FOB. How will I come to this point from CIF to FOB? How will I come? What will be my method of arriving at this FOB? See here, C means what? Cost. This cost means actually FOB. Understand this. C means this FOB. FOB is what? Free on board. That is the manufacturing cost. So this C means FOB. So if I have to come from CIF to FOB, I have to remove this I and F. Simple. So I'll have to remove this insurance and I'll have to remove this transport. So I'll just subtract this insurance and transport fees, whatever is paid, and I'll come to FOB. Because in exams, many times they give you CIF and then they ask you to find out the FOB. They give all the figures. Insurance also they give, then freight also. You have to just subtract it and you come to FOB. Okay. But also remember, while giving the pre-shipment finance, we have to subtract the profit also. Never forget the profit, because pre-shipment finance is given for the cost, not for the profit. And post-shipment finance is given on whichever Incoterm is given. No subtraction, nothing. Whatever is given, pay 100% in post-shipment finance. Remember, post-shipment finance, pay 100%. Pre-shipment finance, we finance as per the Incoterms, and that also FOB Incoterm. And that also generally 75%. Got it, everyone? So what are the four main Incoterms related to ship? FAS, FOB, CFR and CIF. Okay. Now next one. This is related to ship. Now if I have to transfer the goods, I said 90-95% is done through ship, but that 10% is done through this road and air also. So if I have to transfer the goods through road, then what? So if I have to transfer the goods through road, then the Incoterms used are different. What are these Incoterms? Then we have firstly FCA, free carrier. Now free carrier is same as FOB. Now look at this. Have I written it over here? No. See this. Free carrier is same as FOB. FCA on road is same as FOB on ship. Remember this. Simple. Here also the seller will just load the goods on this truck and that's it. Okay. Similarly, CPT, carriage paid to. Carriage paid to. Okay. This carriage paid to is same as CFR, cost and freight. CPT and CFR same. Only CPT is related to road or air also. See here, for airway you will say road, but what about airways? What about railway? Anything other than ship, these Incoterms are used. FCA, CPD, CIP, DAP. Anything other than ship. Okay. Sometimes even in air, even in this road, everywhere, there also these Incoterms are used. There also means in air shipment also you might find something FOB. So whenever we say FOB in air, it means we are talking of FCA. Okay. So CFR got it. Next one is CIP, cost insurance paid. Now what is this? Logically, tell me. This will be equal to what? Type in the comment section. Type in the comment section. This will be equal to what? Everyone. This will be equal to, yes, CIP will be equal to CIF. CIF, cost insurance and paid. Because here also cost and this carriage and insurance paid. Okay. So got this point now. Now this is an Incoterm for road. Okay. So now you got these four FAS, FOB, CFR, CIF, FCA, CPT, CIP. Done. X works already done. So how many are closed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now 2, 3 are remaining. DAP and DDP. Okay. These are remaining. Remember, they are hardly of any use in your numericals. In numericals, you won't get it anything related to DAP or DDP. Only this is for theory. In DAP means what? What do you mean by this Incoterm DAP? DAP means delivery at place. Delivery at place means what? Wherever this buyer will say, there the seller will have to send the goods. If buyer says, I have a godown there in Chennai, my office is in Mumbai, you send the goods to Chennai godown. So what does it mean? Delivery at place. Send it to Chennai godown, even though the office is in Mumbai. Okay. So in DAP, remember delivery at place. Here it is decided who will pay the customs duty at the export side, who will pay the customs duty at the import side. Both the things are decided. Okay. So and DDP, delivery duty paid. This is the best Incoterm for the buyer. Why? Because in DDP, now look at this. This DAP and DDP, they are applicable to both ship as well as road and rail or air or anything. Okay. Now DDP is applicable. DDP means what? Delivery duty paid. It is the best Incoterm for the buyer. Why? Because here every responsibility is on the seller. Paying the customs duty at the export side, paying the customs duty at the import side for year, then bringing the goods up to whatever place this buyer wants. So that is known as DDP. So these are the 10 Incoterms which are used basically in any export or import trade. Okay. See, this is the example I have given. Suppose if I am having CIF of 1000. Insurance is 30, freight is 60, then my FOB will be what? 1000 minus 90, 910. Okay. CFR, cost and freight, it is 1000, insurance is 30, freight is 60, then FOB will be what? Now understand this. Here what have I done? I have subtracted only 1000 minus 60. I have not done this subtraction of 30 because it is CFR Incoterm. Cost and freight. Only have to subtract freight over here. So 940. Got it? Always remember while solving any numerical, you have to do this. But you have to do in addition this profit percentage also. Now this is a typical numerical which I have solved. Just for your reference, I'll give you. CIF is given as 1200. Insurance and freight, now combined it is given as 10%. Profit is given as 15%. So suppose if I tell you to arrive at a FOB or pre-shipment finance. Suppose if you have to give the pre-shipment finance in this part, overall this scenario. Okay. So what will you do? CIF is 1200, insurance and freight is 10%, profit is 15%. What will you do? First, what you do, you first find out the 10%. What is the 10%? 1200, right? 1200 minus this 10%. So it is what? 120. Okay. Then again, profit is 15%. Find the profit of 15% from this 1200 itself. So 1200 into 15%, 180. So now subtract this. 1200 minus 180 minus 120. So you get it as 900. So this is FOB value. But from this FOB value, what have you to do? You have to give the finance of 75% only. So from this 900, you will be paying 75% only. So this is the basic logic of pre-shipment finance. That's why I took this numerical over here. Okay. Now, before going ahead, everyone download Adda 24/7 app on your mobile. In this app, you will be getting the premium study material plus live classes, ebooks, tests, whatever we require for clearing a JIB and CIB. We'll be getting it over here. Okay. So download this immediately. Got it? Okay. Now these are the Incoterms. I have written it over here, theory part. So you can definitely read this. Departure, X works, already explained. Main carriage paid, CFR, CIF, CPT, CIP. All these are showed. Main carriage paid Incoterms. Now these two are related to ship. CPT and CIP are related to this, this road and air and everything. Okay. Main carriage paid, unpaid. Unpaid means the carriage is not paid. FCA, FAS, FOB. FCA is related to this railways or road. FAS and FOB are generally related to ship. Okay. Arrival, DAP and DDP. Delivery at place, and this DDP is delivery duty paid. So here arrival means at the importer side. Okay. This is, I have given the responsibility for each of the seller, means it's same thing which I discussed, just it's given in details over here. Details means where the responsibility is for your reading basically. Incoterm, Xworks, FCA, FAS, FOB, all these. Export packaging, who is doing what? Okay. So where is the responsibility? These are the responsibilities. Okay. You can read this, expand this, enhance this video and read this. Okay. Next one. Now before going ahead, everyone join Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. In this channel, you will be getting the latest updates. Now how to join this? Latest updates from IIBF regarding JIB and CIB, and importantly, you will get this, the free YT series, YouTube series. Now how to join these channels? Scan these QR codes. This is for your this Telegram channel. This is for your YouTube. And the next one is for your Instagram. Scan them and join it immediately. We are giving many free YouTube videos over there, ebooks over there, tests over there on these channels. Join all the three. Okay. Now let's come to the questions. Minimum obligation of the seller is represented in which time of the Incoterm? Now this is easy for you. Answer is FOB, Xworks, DDP and DPU. Now which one? The correct answer is Xworks. Correct? Xworks. Okay. FAS and FOB are rules of which kind of transport? Which kind? Any kind of transport, internal, inland waterways and seaport, railways only, and air only. What is this? Now type in the comment section. Let me call this ABCD. A, B, C, and D. Now type the answer. Is it A or B or C or D? FAS and FOB are which type, or for which type of this transport? It is B. Correct? It is B. Isn't it? Next one. There's a Thai company which imports from USA, which is importing from USA for the first time. When this company imports from USA, which Incoterm consignee should propose to the shipper for their benefit? Their means whose benefit? Their benefit. Consignee. Who is the consignee? Consignor and consignee. Consignee means it's always the buyer. Okay. For there means what? Buyer's benefit. Let's talk about this buyer's benefit over here. Buyer. Let me be specific over here. Buyer. For buyer's benefit. So which Incoterm should this buyer propose to the shipper? Shipper means seller, exporter. So should he or she propose this ebooks or FOB or CFR or FCA? Now, what do you say about this? Now you are having the problem. All of you might be thinking, sir, the best one is DDP for the buyer. But there is no DDP given over here. So the right answer is DDP, but no DDP given. But what is the answer then? See here, we have to choose the best among these. Xworks means what? It is the best for the seller. FOB means what? Loading on the ship. CFR means what? Cost and freight. And FCA means what? Free carrier. Okay. So FOB and FCA are same. So these are same over here. So which is the best among these? Xworks, FOB and CFR. Which is the best for the buyer? Which is the best for the buyer over here? Among these three. Among these three it is CFR. Remember, DDP is the best for the buyer in ideal conditions. It might not be ideal conditions every time. Okay. So which is the best for you, that you should agree. Suppose if it is said that benefit for the seller. Suppose if this is for the seller's benefit, then which one is the best? Then it's Xworks. For the seller, it's always Xworks, right? Which is this Incoterm? Say this Incoterm. Here, the seller is, this is the seller. So seller is putting the goods up to the ship. Okay, up to the ship. Loading the goods on the ship. And then the ship is going out. So which is this Incoterm? FOB, Xworks, CIP, CPT. Type in the comment section. Which is this Incoterm? Which is this? Fast. This is FOB. Okay, free on board. Correct? What is the difference between CFR and CIF? CFR, see this, cost and freight. If CIF means cost, insurance and freight. So CFR, no duty. CIF, shipper pays duty. Is this related to duty? Not at all. Nothing related to duty. CFR, shipper pays cost, means freight. Here consignee pays freight. Now shipper pays freight, and here CIF, consignee pays freight. Shipper means this shipping company. Okay, or in fact the seller. Okay, seller. So shipper pays the cost, freight, and here consignee pays the freight. Nothing like this. Both of them, CFR, cost and freight, the seller pays the freight over here, right? In both CIF also and CFR also. CFR, no insurance, and CIF, shipper pays the insurance, means seller. Now this is right. CFR, no insurance, and CIF, seller pays the insurance, shipper, okay, exporter. CFR, shipper takes the risk, CIF, consignee takes, it's not that. Consignee means buyer takes the risk, no one. Here, shipper takes the risk, CFR, shipper does not take the risk over here, seller. And in consignee, this also, consignee means insurance is brought in by the seller, but the risk is not taken. The seller will only pay for the insurance if something happens. Okay. But the right answer over here is this. CFR, no insurance. CIF, shipper pays the insurance. Okay. First question. The liquidity risk of the bank arises from. So liquidity risk of the bank, of any bank. Liquidity means what? What do you mean by liquidity risk? It means that I don't have money at right time. That is very important. At right time, whenever I have to pay my EMI, I don't have money. That is a liquidity risk. Same thing about the banks also. Bank has to pay some bond holder. Okay. At that time, bank doesn't have the money. That is a liquidity risk. If some depositor comes for withdrawal, bank doesn't have money. That is a liquidity risk. So this liquidity risk of the bank arises from, number one, funding of long-term assets by short-term liabilities. Long-term assets by short-term liabilities. What do you mean by this word? Suppose let's consider all these cases. Okay. Let's consider all these cases. Let's say this is deposits. Here, liabilities means deposits. Assets means loans. Okay. Now, case number A. Funding of long-term assets by short-term liabilities. Means what? I'm having a deposit of 1 year and I'm giving a loan of 3 years. Will this create a liquidity risk for me? Just type yes or no over here. Huh? Let's see later. B1. Funding of short-term assets by long-term liabilities. So deposit of 3 years and loan of 1 year. Will it create a problem for me? Funding of long-term liabilities by short-term assets. C. Funding of long-term this is ab initio wrong. This is from start only wrong. Why? Liabilities funded by assets. Is it possible? Not at all possible. Assets are always funded by long-term liabilities. Means long-term or short-term. Assets are funded by the liabilities. So C is ab initio right, wrong. Okay, ab initio means from the start itself. We need not even discuss this. That is the point. Now the question lies between A and B. Between A, 1 year deposit I am having and 3 years loan I have given. So will it create a problem for me? Yes, it will create. Why? Because this guy who has deposited, this person will come to me after 1 year, but this person will pay to me after 3 years. So this will be a problem to me. What about B? If this person has given me a deposit of 3 years, this guy will come after 3 years. Isn't it? This guy will come after 3 years, but this guy will pay me immediately after 1 year. So I won't have any liquidity problem over here because whenever this person comes, I can repay him back, him or her. Okay. So the answer is A. Funding of long-term assets by short-term liabilities. This is a basic logic behind which, based on which this question is dependent. And such questions are asked to in exam. Remember. Okay. Move on. Funding liquidity risk is defined as funding liquidity. Remember this. Funding means I don't have funds. Liquidity risk, but related to funds. So that is defined as excess of liabilities over assets. Excess of long-term liabilities over long-term assets. Excess of short-term liabilities over short-term assets. Inability to obtain funds to meet the cash flow obligations. Very simple definition. Excess of long-term liabilities over long-term assets. Is this a liquidity risk? Excess of liabilities means more of deposits, less of loans. Obviously, that can be the answer. Similarly, B can also be the answer. Look at this. All the answers seem to be right. All of them. You check this. All of them seem to be right. Liability is greater than assets here. I'll show you over here. Liabilities greater than asset. In all the cases, logic is same. Okay. Liabilities are greater than assets here. Over here, excess liabilities over assets. Here, long term over long term. But after all, the same. Liabilities and assets. Short term over short term. Logic is same. Liabilities over assets. So, logic is liabilities are more than assets. So, definitely that is the answer. Whenever I have deposits of, let's say, 100 rupees. Okay. And loans of, let's say, 70 rupees. Okay. So, will it be a problem for me? As a bank, do I have a problem in this case? Okay, just check your bank's ratios, your bank's loans and asset deposit ratios. Is it always 100? Let's say this is 100, this is also 100. Is it always 100? No. RBI has given the term as your liabilities and assets should always be 70%. So this is right. Okay, assets will always be lesser than your liabilities. Always. Means basically loans will always be lesser than your deposits. Of course, the ratio is matched so that the rate of interest NII is not affected much. So the correct answer is this. Inability to obtain funds to meet the cash flow obligation. That is the correct answer. Okay. So funding liquidity risk is defined as inability to obtain funds to meet the cash flow obligations. Okay. Liquidity risk in banks manifests in different dimensions. Which are these? What do you mean by this? Manifest means comes. It comes in various ways. Okay. It comes in various ways. Dimensions means ways. Let's keep words simple, isn't it? So liquidity risk in bank comes in different ways. What are these? Funding risk arises from the need to replace net outflow withdrawal and non-renewal of deposits. It can be. Just answer. Think over it and answer. Fine. So here, CAIIB is not like JIB. Just you got the answer, tick it. No. Here you have to think. Funding risk arises from the need to replace net outflows. Non-renewal of deposits means whatever is going out, that needs to be replaced. Suppose if tomorrow there is a huge withdrawal, run on the bank means when all the customers of your bank, remember whatever I am saying, when all the customers of the bank come for withdrawal of deposits, all of them. So that is known as run on the bank. There's some negative news in the newspaper, something wrong about your bank. So everyone comes for withdrawal. That is run on the bank. So coming back to the question, withdrawal, outflows, withdrawal. So we need to replace these withdrawals through fresh funds. So liquidity risk may arise from this also. Number 2, time risk arises from the need to compensate for non-receipt of funds, NPAs. Means basically, suppose if I've given a loan, so what is my logic? The logic says that that person will pay me the EMI, and or CC if given that person will pay me the interest, and that interest I'll use it for paying to the depositors. But if I don't get that interest, don't get that EMI, then what? So that will also create a time risk. Time risk means what? At the time, I'm not having the funds. Call risk arises due to crystallization of contingent liabilities. So call risk arises from crystallization of contingent liabilities. Contingent means what? Contingent means which was not to come, or future transactions, future, like bank guarantee, LC. Okay, these are all contingent. So it comes in which of these cases? Both A and B. Okay, I'll mark it like this: A, B, and C. That is the best answer. So the answer is actually this: A, B, and C. Because funding risk is to replace the net outflows. That is also correct. Time risk is for compensating the non-receipt of fund. That is also correct. And call risk is also a type of risk, this liquidity risk only. Because if tomorrow there is a huge bank guarantee to be paid by you, then from where will you get the funds? Urgent funds. Okay. So both, both, actually it's A, B, and C. Okay. Everyone subscribe to Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. In this channel, you will be getting latest updates from IIBF on JIB and CIB. Means what is updates from IIBF? IIBF gives various notifications. Like now it's exam time. So it will give certain notification that this exam time changed, that exam time changed, this subject's portion is this, something has been added over here, something like this they'll give. So these notifications are explained on this channel immediately. Officers Adda 24/7. Also you get free YouTube series. Here right now what are you watching? You're watching the same free YouTube series. So you get a free YouTube series on the channel for all the subjects of JIB and CIB, all. Okay. So that's why subscribe to it, click on the bell icon, click on the like button, share it with your friends. Okay. When an asset maturing in where an asset is maturing in 2 years, the liability risk will be, suppose if any asset means loan is maturing in 2 years. Okay, 2 years means what? I have given a loan and that guy or girl will be paying me after 2 years. Okay, so what is the liability risk? Now look at this liability risk. Means what risk will I face from the depositor's angle? Basis risk, yield curve risk, gap risk, embedded option risk. From the depositor side, I'll face this risk, depositors, embedded option, right? See here, if this asset is maturing in 2 years, means there is a loan. Let's look at it this way, loan. Okay, if this loan is maturing in 2 years, this deposit, I may face a deposit. Here, I have to fund this loan by this 2 years. So what I have to fund is, I have to see to it that I have sufficient deposits for this loan. But if these deposits get matured, FD gets matured, there is a withdrawal, then will I get the same FD of the same amount afterwards? If after the withdrawal, will I get the FD of the same amount at the same rate. That is known as embedded option risk. Embedded means what? Anytime it can withdraw. Suppose if I need this 1 lakh rupees over here and this 1 lakh is withdrawn from here, depositor's angle, then my balance sheet is in a problem. So embedded option risk means there is a chance of withdrawal of FDs, withdrawal of savings deposits, plus there is a chance of repayment of these loans also. Now this is from the loan side. Somebody repays these loans. So embedded option risk is for both the sides, loan also and deposit also. Here we are talking of liability, deposit side. So that's why it's the main embedded option risk. The risk of adverse variance of mark to market of change in the market price of the interest rate instruments, equities, is called. So mark to market. What is mark to market? Mark to market means that basically the logic behind mark to market is, suppose if I brought let's say a bond, and that bond I am not going to sell immediately. But mark to market means what? Whether if what is notionally I am gaining some profit or not in that. That's the meaning of mark to market. Suppose if let's say you have brought a flat, you have purchased a flat, okay, for staying flat you have purchased. Now this flat you won't be selling it now because you are staying in that. But you get the daily rates for this. There are certain brokers who come to you, sir, the flat right now you had brought it at let's say 30 lakhs. Now the flat is giving you around 50 lakhs. So this is what this difference is known as notional or mark to market. Notional or other name is mark to market, M to M. Okay, M to M means what is the rate at which I had brought and what is the present value of my security. Okay. So risk of adverse variance of mark to market value of change in market price in the interest rate instruments is called as price risk, market risk, translation risk, both A and B. What is the answer? Let me get it from you now. I'll explain you, not an issue. But let me get it from you first. It is both A and B. Price risk and market risk, both. Because here market price risk is actually a part of market risk. And price risk arises because of the interest rates. If the interest rates go up, interest rate goes up, then the price of the bond will go down. Price will always go down. Price. Okay. So this is basically the logic behind this. Which of the following is not a market risk? Not. Okay, not a market risk. Compliance, transaction, legal, all of the above. Let me think. Type fast in the comment section. Which of the following is not a market risk? Not. Market risk means what? What is a market risk? Market risk means that risk which is not in your hands. Not in your hands. Okay, keep it very simple language. Okay, not in your hands. Russia-Ukraine war, not in your hands. Then the COVID situation, not in your hands. Right? RBI changing the repo rates, not in your hands. So this is all market risk. So which of the following is not a market risk? So compliance risk. Compliance means what? Submitting the returns or submitting the consent documents to RBI. It's in your hands. You have to follow the compliance. So it is not in your hand, right? Not a market risk. So it is, I'll write it not a market risk. N. Transaction risk. Transaction means whatever transaction I'm doing, I must maintain precautions in that. So there's no market risk. External forces are not acting on this. Legal, again, it's a part of this transaction risk only, right? Means basically operations risk. These are all operations related risks. So this is not a market risk. Answer is all of the above. Okay. Everyone download Adda 24/7 app on your mobile. In this app, you will be getting the premium study material plus live classes, ebooks, tests. Whatever we require for clearing JIB and CAIIB, we get it over here. So that's why download it right now, immediately, and start studying. Don't just download it and keep it. You have many apps in your mobile. Okay, just tell me, everyone, how many total number of apps you have in your mobile? How many? We don't even know the numbers. Even I don't know. How many of these apps have you watched? Do you watch regularly? I know you watch only WhatsApp regularly, only WhatsApp, tick 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 tick, and some other one or two more, nothing else. Okay, somebody might be watching that shopping apps, Amazon and all those things. That's okay, but remaining apps, we just download it and keep it. Don't just download it, use it, go through it. What are you getting? You're getting many free features over here. Of course, paid classes are there, but free features also, free tests you are getting, free books you are getting, free classes you are getting. So download it and start studying. Okay. Country risk is an example of market, credit, operations, and liquidity risk. So country risk is an example of what? It is a part of credit risk. See here, credit risk always is of two types. Always remember this, two types. Okay. One is country and second is counterparty. I'll just write it. Okay, full only I'll write it. Counterparty. Because many of the students might not understand this. Short form of this is actually CP. Okay, but counterparty risk. So country risk and counterparty risk. Credit risk always has two parts. Okay. All of the following are types of price risk except, now again we want except means not, which is not the type of price risk. So all of the following are the types of price risk except commodity price, exchange rate, stock price, counterparty risk. Just now I gave you. What is the answer? Just now. Yeah. Type fast. Just now I gave you. Yeah. This one. Look at this. Credit risk has two parts. Credit and counterparty, country and counterparty. So counterparty will be a part of what? Will it be a part of price risk? No, it is a part of credit risk. So this is credit risk. This is not the one. This is yes, this is yes, this is yes. All these are price risks. But this is a part of credit risk. Okay. In financial market, bond prices and yields are JIB studies. Okay. Bond prices and yields are inversely related, directly related, inversely or directly depending on the type of the bond, and none of these. JIB. Okay. Give me the answer. Yes, it is. What? What is the answer? Bond prices and yields. Inversely, right? If the yields go up, what is yield? Yield means asking rate. If the asking rate of any bond goes up, the price of that bond will go down. See here. This is not numerical. Numerical means it's a case study actually. The same case study you get it in the exam. Similar, exactly the same many times. So, on one, here it is from your textbook only. Yeah? So don't worry, it is not out of your textbook. So there are more chances of these case studies coming in your exam. On 1 June, customer requests to book a forward contract for retirement of import bill for USD 1 lakh. Due for payment on 15th September. Given the spot USD INR rates as 75.2729. Forward premium as given as spot for June is 10 to 12. Spot for July is 21 to 23. Spot for August is 30 to 34. Spot for September is 43.45. And August to 15th September it is 6.7. So charge the margin of 0.2% on the spot rate. So how to solve this numerical? Such a big numerical. This numerical will be for 5 marks. They'll ask you various questions in this. Numerous questions. There can be many questions which can be asked from this. But once you are clear in the concept, you can definitely solve all the questions. So firstly, what is it? Forward contract. Okay, forward contract means, immediately remember, it must strike your mind that whenever we say forward contract, I'll mark this line over here because my video is over here, right? So whenever I say forward contract, it means forward contract. It means I'll have to use the forward rates, bill rates. Remember this, bill rates. Okay. This is something you must always remember. Whenever I'm talking of forward contracts, I'll have to use bill rates. Okay. Whenever I'm talking of spot transactions, I'll have to use TT rates. Here, I'll give you the classification over here. Spot transaction, you'll have to use the TT rates. Okay. Now, if I'm talking of import transaction, import, okay, import, then I'll have to use which rate? I'll have to use Sell rate, sell. If I'm talking of export transaction, export, I'll have to use buy. Okay, buy rate. Always remember, only in case of crystallization it's reverse, because crystallization is actually the reverse case. But don't worry about crystallization in this case study now. So import we are talking of sell, export we are talking of buy, forward we are talking of bill rates, spot we are talking of TT. Okay. Now I'll ask the questions also to you. Not only I'll answer, but I'll ask the questions also. Now based on this, tell me this contract, what is given about this contract over here? On 1 June, the customer books a forward contract for retirement of import bill. Retirement of import bill means what? The customer has to pay that import bill, pay to that customer. And that payment is to be done when? On 15th September. So this customer has come to you when? This customer has come to you on, okay, let me draw it on the other page, let me see. But before going ahead, everyone subscribe to Officers Adda 24/7 YouTube channel. In this channel, remember, you will be getting the latest updates from IIBF on JIB and CIB. Updates means they give various notifications. This subject change, that subject change, this portion change, this timing change, this venue change, all these. So these are immediately updated on this this channel. Number one. Number two, what you will be getting is very importantly. So here you will be getting the free YouTube series on all the subjects, free YT series, okay, of CAIIB as well as JIB. So join it immediately, and whatever is free, grab it fast. Click on the bell icon, click on the like button, okay, share it with your friends, okay. Chalo, let's start this numerical. See, it is, what is the numerical actually? See this, I'll draw it over here. Firstly, let me draw a line over here. Otherwise, what happens? It goes behind my video, okay, here, okay, now. Yeah, so this is what June 1. Now the customer has come to you for booking the contract for what? September 15th, isn't it? Look at the date. September 15th due date. So September 15th means you'll have to book this September 15th over here. Let's mark it September 15th over here. So this customer will have to pay to this his buyer, his seller on September 15th. He is booking the contract today. Okay, so I'll have to book for this gap. This is known as a forward transaction. Okay, now September 15th will come in between what? September 1 and September 30th. So September 1 and September 30th. So everyone amongst you will think now we'll be doing this buy low sell high rate over here, but we won't be doing it over here. No buy low sell high over here. Remember, those who are thinking, those who have learned something, buy low sell high maximum, they are using it, don't use it. Okay, why don't use it? Because the reason is the rates are already given over here. Look at this. If you look at the forward rates, it is given, this last rate is August to 15th September. So exact rate is available for 15th September. So when exact rate is available, you need not do buy low sell high. Buy low sell high is done when the rates are available of September 1 and September 30th. But you don't know the exact rate of September 15th. Then we'll do buy low sell high. But here we have the exact rate of September 15th. It's already given. So now get the forward rates of this forward rate we want, exact forward rate we want it now. This one. How to get this? Start from June. Okay, whatever we have, start from the basic. What is the June rate we are having? June spot is given as 75.2729. Now I'll ask you the question. Okay, is it 75.27 or 75.29? What will I take? 75.27 or 29? What will I take, everyone? Should I take 27 or 29? It is import transaction. Fast. Let me see in the comment section. We don't have time. It is 75.29. Import means sell. So sell means right side, 75.29. Okay, this is the rate I will be taking. Okay, now I want September 1. What is the September 1 forward rate? Are you having it? See, the spot is given for June. Now, whenever I say June, it means June end. Remember this. Whenever I say July, it's end. August end. Okay, September end. Okay, So this my transaction is on September 15th. So I can't use this September end rate. I'll have to use the August end rates here. September August end equals to here August end. It's equal to September 1, September start. Okay. This is like the closing cash and opening cash of your bank. What is the closing cash for yesterday is the same as the opening cash for today, isn't it? Volt cash. So same logic is used over here. So August end equals to September start. So I want it for September 1 now. So that will be August end rate. So I'll be taking 32, 34. Which one will I take? 32 or 34? Should I take 32 or 34? I'll take 34, right? So now tell me this is 34. Okay. Now tell me whether the currency is in premium or discount over here. Everyone type in the comment section 10, 12, 21, 23, 32, 34. So is the currency in premium or is it in discount? What do you say? It's in premium. Remember, when your right side is higher, right side is big. Okay, in forward transactions, the currency is in premium. Always remember this, premium. When your right side is big. So vice versa is also true. When right side is small, it is in discount. And whenever we have premium, we'll have to add the forward points. Always add. Okay. So now it is in premium. I'll have to add it. But see this 34, I'll do it. I'll take this 34 now. Oh, over here. I'll take this 34. So what is my rate now? 75.29 plus 0.34. Take this point. Huh? So what is the answer now? 75.29 plus 0.34. So what is the answer you're getting? It is 75 point what? 75.6 and 3. 75.63, right? Add this. How many of you have got this? 29 plus 34. 33, 43, 53, 63. Isn't it? This is one. But I want it for September 15th now. So what will I do? I'm having this rate up to September 1. I'll take the forward points for September 15th now. What are the forward points given? 6 and 7. Okay, this one. 6 and 7. Seeing this? 6 and 7. So what will you take now? 6 or 7? Everyone type in the comment section. You will take 6 or 7. I'll take 7 because sale. But I won't take only 7. It is 0.7. 0.07 because we require after point 2 digits. So 0.07. So what is this now? Again, premium or discount? Premium. So I'll add this. So it will be 75.63 plus 0.07. So 75.70. This will be my rate for September 15. Exact rate for selling. Okay. Selling. But is this a final answer? No, this is not the final answer. Why? Because I have to charge this margin also, TT margin. Where is it mentioned? We have not mentioned anything about the TT margin. So what is the TT margin then? Say this, TT margin is always taken like this. Whatever rate you get, 75.70 into what is that? 0.2%? What is it given? 0.2%, right? So 0.2 upon 100. 0.2 upon 100. So what is the answer you're getting? Try it on the calci, everyone. Everyone should be able to do this now. Fast. Everyone should be able to do this. Fast. Try it on the calci. What is the answer you're getting? Everyone. Yeah. Let me also try along with you. So 75.7 into 0.20. So 0.02 you can write it, or you can divide it by 100 later. So it is, what is the answer you're getting? You're getting 0.1514, right? This is the answer you might be getting, right? 002. So 0.002 into this. So 0.1514 you are getting. Are you getting this? Everyone type yes in the comment section if you are getting it. Are you getting the same answer? Okay. Chalo, move on. So this is my margin. So what to do with this margin? Remember, whenever you are selling, you'll always add the margin, TT margin. Huh? And whenever you are buying, you'll always subtract the margin. Okay. So now what am I doing? I am doing the import transaction, means selling. So I'll add this. what will be my final rate now? 75.70 in plus 0.1514. So what is the answer you are getting? Add it. So let me see the answer from your side. It is 75.7 plus 0.1514. Everyone tried 75.85. 75.8514. This is the exact answer you will be getting. And this is your final answer. Okay. But what do you mean by this rate? What has happened actually? In this whole transaction, you have got the rate. But what has happened? This much amount you will be debiting it to the customer. See this 75.85 because $1 lakh are to be given. So what amount will you be debiting to that customer? So 75.8514 into 1 lakh. $1 lakh, right? 1 lakh. So whatever that amount is. So it is around 75 lakhs, right? That much will be the amount, isn't it? Yeah, into $1 lakh. So multiply this. So you'll get something 75.8514 lakhs. This much amount you will be debiting to the customer and then passing on the $1 lakh to the next party in foreign. Okay. So this was the actual case study. In exam, how will they ask you? They'll ask you various questions. They'll ask you, okay, what is the spot rate for June to be taken? Okay, what is the September 1 for this forward rate? What is the September 15th forward rate? Will you be using buy low, sell high in this exam, in this question? So these all questions will be asked to you and you must be prepared for that. For that, you must have studied this case study. Okay. Before going ahead, everyone download Adda 24/7 app on your mobile. In this app, you'll be getting the premium study material plus live classes, ebooks, tests, everything you'll be getting. Okay. Whatever we need for clearing JIB and CIB, we get it over here. So that's why everyone download this app immediately and start studying. Okay. Second numerical. Now this is not a simple one, a confusing one, but let's see how many of you can answer this. A forward purchase contract USD 5 lakhs booked 2 months back at 75.25 is due for delivery 2 days later. The customer is informed by the drawee of the bill that the payment will be delayed by 1 month. Now this much is your case study. See here, there is a contract which was booked. Okay, 2 months back means I'll write it over here. See this. 2 months back, there was a contract which was booked for due for tomorrow. Means here, let's say tomorrow. Okay, here it is tomorrow. So 2 months back. What is this month now? Let's consider anything. This is September. Okay, so gone August and July. So July. Let's say the contract was booked. It is due in September. This tomorrow's date. Let's say. But what has happened is customer is told now by his buyer. See here, forward purchase contract. This is a purchase. Purchase means it's an export transaction. Always remember, purchase is always export. So this buyer has told, buyer means what? The buyer of your customer. That buyer was going to pay the customer on September. But this buyer has said that no, I won't be able to pay you now. I'll be able to pay you after 1 month. So I'll be able to pay you in October. Now what have you to do? In this case, what have you to do? This contract was already here. This is contract number 1. So this contract number 1 was booked over here. Okay. So if it is booked, it has to be nullified over here. Cancelled over here. Cancelled. Here, the rule is very simple. Whatever is booked has to be cancelled, or either it has to be paid or it has to be cancelled. So if it has to be cancelled, it's like the same rule. जिसको आना है वो जाएगा. Right? Simple rule. The one which rises will always fall. The one which is booked will always be cancelled or paid. It will be equated. Okay. So this is to be cancelled. But remember, if it is to be cancelled, it doesn't mean because the payment is to be received in October. Is the payment received up till now? No. Payment is not received. So what will I have to do as a banker? Now the role of the banker comes in. The banker will have to cancel transaction number 1 and will have to book a new contract. Book new contract for October, this 1 month, because up to the time payment is not received, the transaction is not over. Okay. So the bank will have to do two transactions over here. One is cancelling the older one and booking the new one. Okay. Now let's look at it. So rate of booking of the original contract is means when it was booked in July. At what rate was it booked? TT buying rate. Okay, let's consider this A, B, C, D. A, B, C, and D. So now, when the contract was booked in July, at what rate was the contract booked? TT buying, TT selling, bill buying, or bill selling? What do you think? Purchase contract. Purchase. Purchase means what? It will be buying. Okay. Purchase means buying. Buy. So if it is buy, then what? Now the answer is only two. Two are remaining. Either TT buying or bill buying. So which one? Just now I told you in the first numerical. Whenever you are booking a forward contract, you will always use which rate? Bill rate or TT rate? Just now. Just go to the part of that video again. You will be taking bill rate. So the answer will be bill buying. So the original contract was booked at bill buying rate. Remember this. This bill buying rate is 75.25. Okay. Second question. Rate of cancelling the original contract is what? TT buying, TT selling, bill buying, bill selling. So cancelling, this cancellation means this. Cancelling transaction number 1, this one. This is to be cancelled when? It is due when? Tomorrow. Tomorrow means spot. Always remember, this is spot. So here I'll have to first use spot. Spot means what? Whenever we are doing a spot transaction, which is to be rate is to be used. Again, first problem. Just now I gave you. Spot you have to use in the comment section. Let me see. Spot you have to use TT rate or bill rate. Okay, I'll give you options. TT or bill. So which rate will you use? TT or bill? TT rate, correct? So TT is okay. So now these two are out. TT is only in. TT buying or TT selling. Now I'm cancelling the contract. So if the contract was booked at what rate? It was booked at the buying rate, right? So originally it was booked at buying rate. So cancellation will be done at what rate then? Will it be buying or selling? So if I do something at buying, I'll have to cancel that using selling, right? So I'll be using bill, this TT selling rate, right? So the answer will be TT selling rate over here. Okay, cancelling is always done at the reverse rate of the booking. Okay, then you'll say why not bill booking, bill selling then? But because bill selling is not used. Bill is used whenever you are doing some future dated transactions. Here I am cancelling tomorrow itself. So it is a spot transaction. So TT, isn't it? A rate of booking the new contract for next 1 month. So next contract will be booked at what rate? TT buying, TT selling, bill buying, bill selling. Who can give the answer? New contract for 1 month now. Simple logic. You have the answer only here itself only. You have the answer here. Let me see the simple logic you can give. See here, contract number 2 which is booked is same as contract number 1. Because there also I had booked it for purchase. Again I'll have to book it for purchase because same thing is repeated. This full whatever had happened in July is repeated on over here now. Same thing is repeated. So if it is repeated, then the rates will also be repeated. So it will be again bill buying rate. So I'll be using bill buying rate. But the rates will be different. Of course, not the same rate. But the logic is same. I'll be using the bill buying rate only again. Okay, new contract. Of course, the rates will be for today, whatever the rates are. Okay. So this is what you need to understand. This is the crux of the problem. Cancelling this at spot rate or TT rate, booking the new and the original logic again, bill buying rate. But the rates over here will be different than the rates over here because this is today's situation. This was July's situation. Okay. So now before going, everyone join the Sankalpa batch immediately. All the numericals, objective questions, case studies, everything is covered. Okay. Importantly, remember ABM, BFM, ABFM, BRBL, all the 4 compulsory subjects covered. Mahapack. Join the Mahapack. In Mahapack, you are getting multiple batches, courses, ebooks, test series, mini and Maha marathons, practice papers, doubt sessions. And at what fees? What is the fees over here? See this. Look at the discounts. Now 80% off is going on. Okay, see, let me show you. Go to Adda 24/7. Okay, so this. I would always suggest you to go through the app. In the app, what happens? You get 1% extra using the coin systems. So go to Adda 24/7 over here. Click on JIB and CIB. Done. Click on CIB 23. See this November. Now you'll see the batches over here. Click on Sankalpa batch English. Okay. Done. You'll see the details. See this online live classes, 81 test series, 65 ebooks. Look at the fees, 80% off. So exam 80 code is already applied. Now click on any of these ebooks. What do you get? Let's see that. What do you get in this? Click on ebooks. Subject wise ebooks are there. Click on each of these subjects. You'll see chapter wise ebooks, isn't it? So, and similarly for test series, click on test series, subject wise test series. Click on each subject. You'll get topic wise, module wise test series. This much is enough for your studies. Okay. Similarly, online classes, various batches are shown. Look at this, all these batches. Okay. So that's why I would suggest join fast. Okay. Limited seats are there. See here, limited batch size. Recorded videos are available. If you miss out on any class, you can definitely get the recorded sessions. Okay. Click on buy now. You'll see this. Code is already applied. Click on continue. Fill in the details and just pay the amount. That's it. Similarly, you can join the Mahapack. In Mahapack, you are getting multiple batches. Plus, as I told you, ebooks, plus test series, plus doubt sessions, everything, isn't it? So you're getting multiple offers over there, and at what rate? Check the rates also. 80% off, double validity. Double validity means, look at this. If you're buying it for 6 months, you're getting it for 12 months. 6 plus 6. If you're buying it for 12 months, you're getting it for 24 months. 3 months, it's not, there's no double validity, because what will you give in 3 months? Okay. Look at the fees, but fees are changed. For fees, it is 3 months, it is 4,999. For 6 months, means now 12 months you can call 7,367. For 12 months, so now 24 months, it is 10,314. 80% off is applied over here. Similarly, click on buy now, fill in your details. See this continue. Code is already applied. 80% off is applied. Double validity is there. Click on continue, fill in the details, pay the amount.